Yo, what's good everyone? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be discussing the topic of if you're in a setting offer right now or a high ticket sales offer, how do you know when you should leave it? If you're in a position where you are on a setting position or a sales position, let's say you've been there for a couple of weeks to a couple of months now, you've gotten to know the team, you've gotten to know the business owner, maybe you've booked some calls and you've gotten some commissions here and there, but things are starting to run a bit dry and uncertainty is starting to creep in as to whether you can stay here long term, if this is something that you want to keep doing for another 3 to 6 months, or should you just look at other options and start applying to those instead. Today's video, I'm going to answer those questions. I'm going to give you a couple signs to know whether it's time to leave that offer or whether to stay and to push through with it. If you don't know me already, my name is Matt Jacob. I've done over $250,000 worth of appointments set and counting for different offers, different niches, and also for my own business known as the Oracle. I was setting for about 2.5 years before I started the Oracle, which is my mentorship program. And I've worked with people like Tuzer, Sumner Healy, Elijah Pascal, and more. So if you want to learn more about me, my story, etc., go to my YouTube channel. But other than that, should you leave the offer that you're on? When should you start looking? All right. So I think the first sign, then the most obvious sign, is if you've been on it for a couple months now and there's been little to no progression. They've made several promises and several changes saying they're going to improve their closing rate, they're going to hire a mentor, they're going to increase the lead flow, they're going to run ads, etc. They're going to hire infrastructures and put more systems in place. And then let's say you've given them the benefit of the doubt. It's been 1 week, 2 weeks, 4 weeks, let's say like even a couple months now, and they still haven't done any of those things. I think that's a red flag, and I think that's a time to start looking for other offers, because how they do one thing is how they're going to do everything. If they keep making these empty promises about the offer, then safe to say it's just going to keep going, right? You have to do what's best for you, and loyalty can only get you so far in the appointment setting and sales space. Because one of the mistakes that I used to make was I was very, very loyal to one offer, and they did help me out in the beginning. However, there was a point where things were starting to look a bit rocky, like they weren't making as much revenue, they weren't making the changes they said they were going to make, their closing rate was iffy, they weren't getting as much students in, and I was also in a situation when I just freshly moved to Thailand. I'm sure the offer owner watching this, he's one of my good friends, he's cool with me sharing, but I think him and I both knew that things were a bit stagnant in the business at that time. So in the meantime, I had to start looking for other offers to hop on, because I didn't want to be there sinking with them. I needed to obviously make some money while I was still in Thailand, pay for bills, pay for expenses, and I also had a flight to catch to Philippines. So I can't just sit there and just drown with them, right? I had to look for another offer, and it ended up working out. And the best part about that was because we were cool, I ended up just hopping back on that offer when things were good again. Like there was no burnt bridges, no nothing. It's just at that time, I had to do what's best for me, and I had to hop off that offer. So the first thing was empty promises or little to no progression with the offer. That's sign number one. That's the biggest one for me. So the second sign you should hop off the offer that you're currently on is kind of different, but within the same vein. So if a better offer or a better opportunity comes by and it's an absolute no-brainer, meaning that you will get accepted or you've already been accepted into it, you fit the criteria, and it makes you a lot more money, it works better in terms of your hours, in terms of your flexibility and your schedule, everything just ticks all the boxes, I think that's a good sign to hop off the current offer that you're on and get on that offer. Now, if you can balance both offers, then more power to you, because you're just going to end up making more money. But if you're in a situation where you can't balance both offers and you have to pick one or the other, then just go with the one that best suits you, your situation. Now, the third sign is if you've outgrown that offer, meaning you've become the top setter or the top closer on that offer. And let's say, especially you've done that consistently for many months now. It's entirely up to you what you want to do in that situation. I'm a big believer in changing your environment and raising your standards. If you've been comfortable as the top setter and you've been consistently closing deals, booking meetings, making the most commission out of everyone on the team, I think that's a sign where you should look for something else that's going to raise your standards, that's going to make you uncomfortable, and you have to start from ground zero again, where you're not the top setter or the top closer. Because in this way, it's going to force you to grow, it's going to force you to make more money and get better at the skill. This is really, really important, guys, because I find so many setters and so many closers, they get to a point where they're extremely good at that company, and then they're like the top performer, and then they start to coast for a while, and then let's say they even start to die down in their performance. And the next thing you know it, the new person, the new kid on the block, hops on the offer, starts killing it, and then they take your place as the top setter or top closer, right? We don't want that happening. You want to keep growing and getting better and better. Whether this is appointment setting, high ticket closing, management, or you start your own business, You always want to be raising your standards, getting into bigger rooms, people with more success than you and more results than you. So I think if you've been the top performer for a while and you're getting comfortable, then it's time to look for a new opportunity where you can make more money and challenge yourself again and light a fire under your ass. So number 3, guys, is if you've been the top performer for a while and you're looking for a new challenge. So number 4 is if the company starts doing things against your morals and values. Now, this is going to be more of a question of ethics, but I bring this up because one of my mentors, he used to work for an 8-figure company and he started from ground zero. He used to be the lowest closer, used to be the new kid on the block. And then within the span of 5 months, he went from new kid on the block to top setter. And then from top setter, he started closing, obviously again, the new kid on the block. However, give him a couple more months and he ended up being the top closer by far, by a long shot. And then all the other closers on that team, they also had teams. They had a team of setters, they had a team of other people helping them out. Meanwhile, my mentor, he went from bottom closer to top closer in just a couple months just by himself. So that was amazing and it was all good for him. He was making 20K plus a month just off of commissions working for that 8-figure company. And to go from zero to that much money in commissions only in just a couple months was amazing to him and it was life-changing. But he told me the story and he had to eventually leave because he soon found out that the company, which we won't name for privacy purposes, but he found out that the company was starting to do some shady stuff. So he had to leave. It was going against his morals and values. And this is going to lead me on to my 4th point, where if a company starts doing things against your morals and values, then it's time to hop off. Like, you should not be part of that. No matter how much money you're making on that offer, if they're doing things against your will or they're doing things against your morals, then you need to hop off. Like, it's a no-brainer. It's as simple as that. You need to keep your ethics on point while you're in this game. So number 4 is if the company starts doing things against your morals and your ethics and your values. Now, number 5 is if the company no longer aligns with your future goals and your vision. So let's say they made a couple changes, like I said, and you want to become a closer. If there's no path to closing and you're a setter on the company, you've asked and you've been the top performer and you've been proving yourself where to the point where you should be able to start closing some deals and at least giving it a try. If there is no path to closing on that company, then maybe it's time to start looking for a different company where you can become a closer. If that's your goal, at least. If you want to become a setter manager or a sales manager and there just isn't a path to doing that in that company, then no brainer, time to look for a different offer and leave that current one. Because you want to be doing things, like I said, that's best for you. Loyalty can only get you so far in this space. You have to do what's best for you guys in this space. As cool as it may sound, you have to get on offers and do things that fit within your vision and your life plan. You know, businesses all the time, they have to let go of low performing setters and closers just because even if they may like them, they have to just let them go because they're holding them back. And that's just how it is. So those are the 5 signs you should hop off the current offer that you're on. And if at least 2 or 3 out of those 5 signs do fit for your situation, then it's a good sign to start looking for other offers. So hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, subscribe if you're new to the channel. And if you want to work one-on-one with me, link in the description. But other than that, guys, hope you enjoyed this one and I'll see you in the next video. Peace.